Hey guys, how you doing? This is Ben, the Real Estate Pro. Wanted to make this quick video. It's actually my first video on this channel, but I wanted to talk about um, the Sitzer Burnett trial and how it affects. Well, most people are talking about how it affects real estate agents, but it also is going to be affecting lending, specifically mortgage loan officers. Now, I'm a mortgage loan officer. I'm also a real estate agent. I'm licensed in California and Arizona. So I can represent people, list houses, represent buyers on properties as well, and I can also do mortgage loans. I typically don't do it all in the one same transaction, but I do have the ability to do all those things. So I want to address something. If you haven't been paying attention to that particular trial, the Sitzer Bennett trial, the one in Missouri, that's going to have a drastic effect, in my opinion, especially with real estate agents and also mortgage loan officers. But more specifically, I want to talk a little bit about these talking heads out there, mostly real estate agents that are talking about somehow getting Fannie and Freddie, FHA, or the to try and get real estate commissions financeable into a mortgage loan. So basically, the premise is that Fannie and Freddie, FHA should allow mortgage real estate agent commissions, specifically the buyer's agent commissions, that those funds should be financed into a mortgage loan. Okay. Now, I've even heard people say that it's irresponsible of us as real estate professionals and as a government to not allow this to happen. Okay. Well, that's a bunch of poppycock. I'm sorry. All right. Guys, there is no reason why real estate commissions should be financed in a mortgage loan. Okay. Number one, it introduces extra risk to the loan. All right. I mean, there are certain things that you can finance, like there's upfront MIP on a FHA loan. But guys, you have to understand the reason why they allow that is because it insures the loan. It helps protect the investor, okay, who's investing the money or investing in different bonds in order to be able to produce these types of loans. Okay. There's no reason why you would want to increase the loan amount for a purchase money loan for a borrower by by whatever the commission is for a buyer's agent. Okay, now in the markets I serve, we're not talking a couple grand. Okay, if a buyer's agent is charging 2 or 3%, we can be looking at $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 added on top of whatever the whatever the purchase price of the house is, minus whatever down payment they have. So you'd have somebody that's putting 3.5% down and then financing the buyer's agent commissions. And why are you doing that? Just so the buyer's agent can have a commission? Guys, from a lending standpoint, there's absolutely no reason to finance that. And on top of that, it's actually a detriment to the borrower. Okay, because if you think about it, if you have to add 20, like I said, in the markets that I serve, and you have to add 20, 25 grand on top of whatever is being financed, that's going to affect your debt ratio. Your client might not be able to buy the house now because they have to finance an agent's or buyer agent's commission. How does that help the consumer? How does that help the borrower? Well, I can tell you that it doesn't. Okay, so some of these agents, and look, I'm a real estate agent. Some of these agents that are saying, oh, that we need to have buyer's agent commissions financed into the loan, that's crazy. Okay, that's kind of like subprime lending crazy. Okay, if you think about it for a second. Okay, and why on God's green earth would a buyer, okay, want to finance buyer's agent commissions? What, so they're going to pay $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 and then pay 8% interest on it for the better part of the time they're going to be living in the house? Are you crazy? No, there's other ways to take care of that expense. If someone wants to be represented, which I totally recommend that someone be represented in a real estate transaction, okay, or a buyer. Do you have to? No. But you're going to have to, if you're not going to be represented, you're going to have to take the time to educate yourself, okay? Because it's possible to educate yourself on what to do and how the process goes. It's just going to take some time for you to do that. I mean, guys, brand new agents who got their license on Monday, okay, can go ahead and put in an offer on Tuesday for a buyer and start the escrow process on Wednesday. And these people have no experience. They know nothing other than taking a test. And any real estate agent will tell you it doesn't really teach you much. Or the real estate test that you take at the state level really doesn't teach you much about the actual process. Okay, teach you a little bit about the law, a little bit about history, that type of thing, which is good. I mean, you need to have those things. You need to have your license, but if someone like that can do it, you certainly could do it. But you have to take the time to educate yourself. But for most people, they're not going to have the time to do that. Okay, so how can you mitigate that problem? Okay, well, there's a few things. Right, number one, there's something called seller concessions. Okay, if you happen to find a property, and if the seller is willing, it's a big one. If the seller is willing, you can get seller concessions, and you can use that to help pay for your closing costs. Okay, which could also be used to pay for buyer agent commissions if you really wanted to. Okay, the other thing too is you could ask the seller to pay. All right, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, could you please, I want to buy this house. I'm well qualified. I have a loan. I just don't have the extra funds to go ahead and pay for the agent commissions, and I don't want to finance them. Could you please provide some funds so I can pay my buyer agent? Okay. Now, are they the best solutions? No. Okay. The other thing you could do as well is you can just go to your buyer agent and just say, hey, listen, we're going to have to talk because I want to buy this house. You want to make a commission. I'm willing to pay, but I'm just not willing to pay you 3% or 2% or whatever. You can come up with some other amount. You may even want to have that conversation at the very beginning. Okay. All I'm saying, guys, is there's other ways to take care of this. And I'm telling you, that's how Fannie and Freddie, FHA, that's how they're going to look at this. They're going to look at this from a lending standpoint, and they're going to see this, at least in my opinion. I totally could be wrong. Maybe next year we'll be able to finance real estate agent commissions. That just to me is insane. But it's just an undue risk. You're just adding more risk, and you're adding another level of problems to the loan potentially. Okay, as far as from a qualification standpoint, because a lot of people, let's face it, they're right up against debt to income ratios, and having to pay for or having to finance, having to finance your agent commissions could possibly affect whether you can buy the house or not. So, anyways, guys, this has been the Real Estate Pro. I had to get that off my chest because I just hear this stuff on YouTube from different people that's quote unquote real estate pros or industry experts that just spout off this stupid stuff that they're really only just thinking of themselves. They're only really thinking about, well, how can I get a commission out of this situation? How about your fiduciary responsibility to your client? How about that? Shouldn't be about the money. Should be about you serving your client and getting compensated. And I get it. We do this for money, right? But guys, you have to think of your client first. It is your fiduciary responsibility to do so. All right. Anyways, guys, I'll have a lot more to say about the Sitzer Burnett trial and the ramifications that I think are going to happen because, nobody really knows. But, personally, I think that this is going to be good for the industry. I think it's going to be a positive. We're going to come out in a lot better situation, I think, after all of this because, let's face it, there's, change is good sometimes, right? And I think in this case it will be. Anyways, guys, this has been the Real Estate Pro. I'll talk to you later.